points. We played forceful in our offense, which allowed us to get easy looks, and then Trey hit some big shots. Matt Bryan comes in, hit some big shots in that third quarter.
Trey came alive.
Yeah.
It was good to see after the slump he's been in. What do you think of him?
You know, lately, even the last few games, he's been doing the little things, the simple things, rebounding the ball, sprinting. When we have, you know, when a teammate rebounds it, defensively, he's communicating. He's getting 50-50 balls. He's rebounding. So you can see his energy, his effort start to focus on the details. It's not about shooting. And when you do that, the ball finds energy. You start to get into a rhythm. So it was great to see him knock down open shots tonight.
You've talked before, past couple of games, about handling teams' physicality.
Yeah.
How did you feel like your team handled the Knicks' physicality?
I thought we were better tonight. Not just because of the win, but the way we executed. And we'll continue to talk about it as a group, but I'm extremely proud of this group coming in on their home floor. No matter who they have, they're going to play hard. We know that. They're going to be physical. They're going to rebound the ball, try to get out in transition. But I'm proud of our group coming in on their home floor and really trying to set our standard. And no matter who they're playing.
You talked about Trey doing little things to kind of get himself going, but when he is making shots, how big of a difference maker is that for you guys?
It's devastating to our opponents when Trey is making shots. You know, they got to burn timeouts. They got to figure out how to guard him. Now you can't load up on Zion and BI as much. And then I love what he's doing. He's shot faking, driving, and then swinging into teammates when they close out hard to him. But his shot making ability opens the floor for the rest of the team.
How big was just the defensive activity coming out of the locker room, starting to set it? I think we're like 4 or 5 minutes straight.
It was great. It's the foundation of our team. Every night we're capable of putting forth a good defensive effort, and tonight was no different. It was great to see. I mean, he gives us a lot. He's one of the best players in this league, extremely talented. He's putting the work in, and I love that he's maturing before our eyes, especially when you see the fact that there's times that he doesn't even force it. He comes down, he sees the guys are loaded up on him. He just kicks it to a teammate, and then he has times where he has it going, he's attacking, getting to the paint, getting to the foul line, and then his defensive effort is there. You know, he's staying in front of the ball. He's challenging shots. He's going back, finishing possessions with rebounds. So, you know, having Z on the floor, it is a true blessing and luxury to have. Yeah. I mean, he does, and what's not like to. I mean, playing here it's one of the most beautiful arenas that you can play in. The atmosphere, the crowd, the energy, and all of our guys feel it. And it's always fun to come here in the Garden and have an opportunity to compete. It was great, and his preparation is off the charts. He's staying in high condition with sprints and treadmill and bike, lifting, doing all the things that he needs to do. And then when his moment is called, he's ready to step up and play some minutes for us. So it was great to see him get on the floor and hit a few big shots for us.
You mentioned seeing his maturity. How much have you kind of seen him mature on the defensive and kind of making plays, doing some of those crazy blocks, but also just being right here at that time?
I've seen a lot of growth from Zion this season, and credit to Zion and Coach Aaron Miles and Corey Brewer. They worked together a ton on defensive side of ball, watching film, and he's challenging himself. He wants to be on the floor at the end of games, and he knows that there's a standard that we set as a team, and it's great to see the carryover.
Back to one of Coach. Any thoughts that CJ might be available?
We don't know yet. He's progressing well. We'll know more, once we land in Indianapolis and get to the arena. We'll know more. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned in to the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock. Appreciate y'all for joining us for this episode of the Pelican Postgame Report. The Pels step on the Knicks 115-92. We in the recap PPR final in this thing, man. And I'm Big Q. We got Lexxah chiming in as well. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Much love to the fam. The Pels get the W. They break 2-game losing streak, and rightfully so, getting from up under that. Now they are 35-24. They're in 5th place in the Western Conference standings. 7-3 of the last 10. Let's keep it climbing. But anyway, let's get to this matchup. We'll talk about this one. So much love to y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, we seen a lot of stuff with the Stephen A. Smith thing. I posted a video on the channel of Smith. What he call a comeback? We'll talk about that later. But welcome on in, Lex. How you doing tonight?
What's up with you, Big Q? How y'all doing this evening?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I gotta apologize to you and the family members for yesterday. Had a conflicting schedule where I couldn't do the matchup, and probably was a good thing I didn't do it. I was very upset about that game yesterday. Today, so it was a lot of bull against the
It's
Bulls.
okay.
Let me tell you something.
It's all right, Big Q.
All
We
right.
forgive you.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's get right into this one, Lex. So let's jump off right into the statistics right here. You heard Willie was saying. Let's get into some of the stats for the Pelicans tonight. 50.6%. They were 39-77 from the field. 18 of 34 from downtown for 53% by the Pelicans. 19 of 23. 19 of 23 from the foul line for 82.6%. The Pelicans putting in some work. Looked a little dry early on, but they kind of mashed on the pedal later on in the second half of the game. 44 rebounds by the Pelicans. They were out assisted 27-23. You see the 6-4. Their Nick advantage 5 up with the blocks to turnovers. Pelicans had 15 turnovers in the matchup. 34-26 advantage Pelicans with the fast break point situation. But really, truthfully, a lot of good efforts from Trey Murphy. He got going in this one. Finally, we needed to see Trey kind of break free from the little. He had a drought, his shooting drought he was going on. Just feel good to see him come up out of this. So, Lex, what you thought about some of the things we've seen tonight against the Knicks?
I was glad to see. Well, that's individual stats. I wait on that and focus on these team stats. I do like the fact that they won the rebounding. They did have more turnovers than the Knicks, but they also had more points off the Knicks turnovers, so that kind of canceled each other out there. I'm a hit something for you, Big Q. The charity stripe. The charity stripe. They really knocked down their free throws, and a lot of times when they hit like 80% or more from the free throw line, the probability of winning is very high. So that's also very good. I don't know, field goal was kind of typically low, I guess, but they got the job done. This was a solid game. I think with Trigger, he came on at the end and really put up some shots and knocked down some shots. But yeah, I think with all the as far as with turnovers and things like that, it was kind of like canceled out with the rebounds and just the points off turnovers.
Indeed, I just really appreciate the Pelicans kind of having that effort tonight because it was it was a little dry early on before they just started to turn. I felt like kind of disinterested,
Yeah,
early.
I felt that for the whole game. Big Q. I'm gonna be honest.
It was like till really Brandon Ingram started taking these shots, man. His fall away got to his spots. He was hitting some really good shots to kind of open things up. Then you seen Trey Murphy start cooking in the game.
Matt
26.
Ryan too.
That's right.
Yeah.
26 from Trey in 36 minutes of action. He was 6 of 11 from downtown. He had finished with 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And not only was he shooting the ball, but he was also, assisting, getting rebounds, plus 17 on the plus minus for Trey Murphy. He's more than the shooter. And that's the thing that often people like to see Trey shoot because, he has such a great looking shot, but such more than a shooting guy. He can put the ball in attack now like he did against what's his name? Bogdanovich. He attacked his feet, got to the hoop,
Mhm.
dunk,
Yeah,
and
that
got
was a nice swing through.
we need to see that more. 24 points from Brandon Ingram tonight on 19 of 18 from the field, 3 of 7 from downtown, plus 15 from him with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. 21 from Zion Williamson in 29 minutes. He finished with 5 boards, 4 assists, and a couple of blocks. He fouled out in the game too, kind of haphazardly. Zion was out there. I don't know, but whatever. Herb did his thing as well. 15 points plus 17 from him tonight. Herb does what he does. Big V finished with 17 and 9 on the night with plus 18. And like you mentioned, off the bench, Matt Ryan in 12 minutes was 2 for 2 from downtown for 6 points. Plus he had a plus 8 in the little 12 minutes that he got out there and performed. So this is some of the stuff that we've seen, like some of our guys step up and handle the business. And a lot of people are going to say, this is a lot of the naysayers are going to say, well, the Knicks was without some of their big guys, with Julius Randle, Brunson,
Mhm.
the rest of these guys.
OG on a newbie.
It don't matter if these guys, you have to be whoever's out there. If those guys are not,
Mhm.
we're not going to lay up on you. We're going to have to get you on up out of here. And the Pelicans did that. They were able to step on the Knicks, push them on up out of here because you damn know that if they would have lost this game with all those people, you'd have heard this. You'd have heard this plaster. So they end off pushing out the Knicks on the season series, squatching them out to nothing, Nick, for the on the Knicks series. So getting the more raggedy Knicks up out of here. So go ahead, Lex. What you think about the individuals?
Yeah, like I said about Trey, he really came on at the end. I really want to emphasize him because he has been struggling. Um, I heard a few people on Twitter saying that he's back and all this stuff, and I was like, well, I kind of felt that way when he played well against the Clippers and we won that game. But yeah, we'll have to see the next game. I don't want him to be tricking me again. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm glad he had a great game. He needed this. In really, we need all the great games we can get out of Trigger Trey, man. I mean, he makes this team better with his shooting, with spreading the floor, along with Jayhawk, when he has it going, and Matt Ryan. We gotta have those guys. I think really out of everybody, we know that Herb is going to do what he does. We know that Zion's going to do what he does. Bi does what he does. When CJ's in there, he's going to do what he does. But the guys that we need to really step up is Trigger, Matt Ryan, and Jayhawk. As far as knocking down those 3-pointers, it just makes the game that much more better. And it's a shooter's game, so when they have those open shots, it keeps the defense honest. And it came on late, but it gets kind of going with that saying, better late than never. So just glad that he really stepped up. It's funny, I know the talk has been about, fouls as far as the calls that, Zion gets and stuff. It kind of seems like they kind of backfired, you know. Uh I think that this stuff is kind of hilarious at this point. Not like hilarious as it's actually funny, but just, the frustration of it. But he still had a solid game, pushing the ball, um, getting guys involved. Bi he knocked down some tough shots. Um, Obviously he went out for a little bit, but he was able to come back in and still contribute. Um, Shoot, Herb did his thing, solid game. Um, just glad to see that, guys stepped up, with obviously CJ being out and stuff. But yeah, this is a game that we really needed to get. Um, I really wasn't pleased with that Chicago game. Obviously the Knicks were depleted, but at this point that doesn't matter. Um, we just got another W in the win column, and you know, and the Mavs lost against the Cavs, so that helps too. But we definitely need to take matters into our own hands and start forming a gap. Because now we're back in the fifth seed, but really got to take advantage, man, and play with more of a sense of urgency. Not starting the game off slow. We can't do that. Like, the thing is that the energy was okay. I don't really feel like the sense of urgency was there on tonight, but we got the win. But that doesn't mean that we want to stay there. We have to get back to the level of intensity that we came out with against the Rockets. And even though we lost against the Heat, like, the energy was really there. You could feel it. Like, it was very, very high. We need that type of energy and more. We don't want to go down or go back. Oh, this is just another regular season game. It's crunch time. We got to have more energy, more of a sense of urgency with these games, because even like with the Bulls, what happened there, it seemed like we tried to flip the switch at the last minute, and it did not. It didn't go our way. It was too late. We can't do that. We can't. You can't play with the game like that. You really have to come out with that energy and play at a high level every single night, because anything can happen. It's like these teams are out here trying to get it. They're playing, for to get in the play-in or get a playoff spot, or get a home court advantage, 1 through 4. But we just have to have more of a sense of urgency. We have to show that we're more hungry. But like I said, it's an okay win, but we got to get back to the energy we had against Houston and against Miami and grow from those games.
Yeah, that Bulls game the other day was a piece of work, man. But the Pelicans respond against, like you said, a depleted Knicks squad, and we deleted the old rusty Knickerbockers and got them up out of here. So one good turn deserves another, and the Pelicans get back on the right side of things. Now they face off against a Pacer team, man. That is a pretty darn good team. They're 33-26. They are currently 8th in the Eastern Conference. They're 6-4 of the last 10 games. They just lost their current game. And this is going to be a tough matchup. This team always gives the Pelicans difficulty. This is the first time we'll be matching up with this team this year. We have them really right neck, not back to back, but right in the vicinity. We play them on the 28th, which is tomorrow, and then on the 1st of March, they come here to the Smoothie King Center to take on. So this is going to be interesting. They are tough in Indiana, 19-12 in the building, and Halliburton is just on a whole nother level. About Miles Turner and the rest of those guys. We don't know if CJ McCollum will be available for that game. Jose Alvarado, I don't. He'll be out for that game. I think he returns on the second game. His
Mhm.
suspension will be up then. But this will be a really big test. Not we're the big test for the Pelicans, but this will be a pretty tough matchup for them to deal with. Because look at these statistics here, family. Check this out. What you're dealing with when you match up against the Indiana Pacers. They're first in points per game. They're first in field goal percentage. Eighth in field goal 3-pointers made. Right. They are fifth in 3-point percentage. They're first in assists, sixth in steals, and ninth in blocks. So statistically speaking, they're a pretty solid team overall. So high basketball IQ, attention to detail, low turnovers, taking advantage of foul shots, stuff like that will be needed in this matchup. Let's kind of dig into the Pacers Pelicans matchup.
Yeah, I would have thought the Pacers were actually doing better. But one thing that I hear consistently, because I don't watch enough of their games a whole lot, even though I probably could, you know, referring to my location and everything. But yeah, the Pacers don't really play a lot of defense. A lot of people have said that they struggle on defense. They can put up points, but defensively, um, they're not consistent there. They're kind of laid back at times, but this is going to be challenging. Um, Definitely defensively, we're gonna have to know our spots, know what we're doing on defense, because you have a point guard like Halliburton who will dissect your defense if you are not on your stuff. He's that good. There's a reason why they're number one. This guy is averaging like, I will 11. Like, man, every time I look up, this dude has like 20 assists or something. That's ridiculous. I mean, you don't see those type of numbers, but I mean, obviously 11.6 is still good. I mean, he's averaging double digit basically. So we gotta. I don't think you can fully stop this guy right here because he's the engine. He's the engine of the Pacers. He's their guy. But we got to slow this guy down. Um, we have to got to play on the line, up the line, getting to those passing lanes, not making it easy for him, and not playing too much on weak side. Because he can definitely take advantage of that if you're playing too much. And that's one thing that we've been um, kind of failing in at times, playing too much on weak side. We need to be honest and just play solid defense, not necessarily going for the steal. If the steal is there, take it, but just playing solid defense and getting into those passing lanes, making it very difficult for Halliburton to get teammates involved. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But definitely we gotta bring energy. We gotta bring that energy, man. We have to match or exceed the level of energy and intensity of the other team. Um, they move the ball well. They get up and down the floor. That's something that the Pels want to do. We have to match that or exceed it. I mean, we cannot come out and get off to a slow start. We cannot do that. We cannot turn the ball over. Here of late, we've been kind of careless with the ball, and we actually had the turnovers under wraps for most of the season. So I'm trying to figure out why we're having problems as far as with the turnovers here of late, but we need to get back to getting that under wraps and things like that. So we're not putting ourselves in a bind when they're running the court or in transition. We want to limit those opportunities and basically just flip the script on them. We want to put them on their heels. get them backing up. I mean, obviously they have a big guy in what is that dude's name? His name
Turner.
eluded me. Yeah,
Miles
Turner,
Turner.
Miles
Yeah.
Turner. He's a paint protector. Um, he's not gonna. He's always challenging for Zion, but we just have to. We have to really play this game honest. We got to be honest in this game and really just go. Get up and down the floor and not have them force their will on us. We have to impose our will on them.
Yeah, we got 2 games with this team tomorrow, and then on the first of the month, we'll be matching up with this Pacer team, man. So we're gonna see a lot of this team over the next couple of games. The matchup indicator has the Pacers running off with this one, man. So the Pelicans, like I said, Pelicans have to step up in this one. They got to show out, man. They got to represent and play some high IQ basketball. This should be a playoff style atmosphere with this for this matchup right here, because they are you right on the defensive situation with the Pacers. But
And man, I forgot they picked up Pascal, man. They're long.
yes, oh yeah,
They are long. And their
they can.
arms are long, so we're really gonna have to tighten up on, the passing, because if we're turning the ball over, man, it's gonna get disastrous quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, they got a nice 3, man, of Halliburton, Siakam, and Turner, man, and plus they have some other guys that they bring in there too to help
Yeah,
out, like
solid role players.
yeah, like you got Benedict Mathurin, he plays well. Toppin's there as well. Smith gives
Oh
them good.
yeah,
So I mean, they got some really good, solid players.
gotta watch
All
some lobs too.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, because they Halliburton will throw those lobs. He's got dunkers now.
yeah, they're talented, man. It's gonna be fun watching this one. So this one will be tomorrow, family. Let's see, tomorrow at 6:30. That's the tip off time. 6:30 tip off time against the Pacers, man.
So
And
this is a
let's
back to back too.
That's correct. No,
Oh
well,
wow.
this yep, this game is tomorrow, and then the second matchup is on the first of the
Oh
month, which
wow.
is in between. So, oh yeah,
Yeah,
this
stop
is gonna be
playing. Goodness
yeah.
gracious.
Oh yeah, it's going down. All right, so let's move on to this, Lex, and I know you patiently waiting to get dumped right into this one, which is Stephen A. Smith does claps back, if you won't call it that, at
For 10 minutes.
10 minutes talking about this, that, and the third, and
Hey,
listen. I put this up on the channel already, and y'all know how I feel about Stephen A. Smith. I'm a pretty balanced, fair guy. That's how I operate, and he tries to play victim in this thing. He tries to play like he was just picking fun at Zion when he said those things. And let me tell you something. Stephen A. Smith is a troll. He does a
yeah,
lot of this trolling
bought
stuff.
and
Like
paid for.
right, he is a guy that does all this stupid blabbering and stuff. At some point, he had some inside connections to the NBA that was respectable. Now, when he talks about the stuff with Zion eating the table and all this foolishness, I don't trust nothing he says. I mean, he's yeah, for the last several years or so, it's just BS. A lot of his accounts, we exposed him, caught him actually lying about reports with Zion Williamson. The coverage of the Pelicans, the majority of the coverage that when they talk about the Pelicans, him in particular, is negative. And I would say out of 100% of the time they talk about him, roughly, and I'm saying conservatively, 75% of his coverage is negative. It's actually higher than that, but but just saying the minimum is 75% negative coverage because they use Zion Williamson as a way to get views when they start
Mhm.
popping off about his weight and popping off about some stuff that's off court, issues that's off court. And this one he tries to play his victim because y'all seen the video about when he said what he said about Zion Williamson, which was number one, it was off time and it was bad
It
humor.
was.
It was dry, it was a bad humor, and it was off timed because at the time the Pelicans are playing really good basketball and Zion Williamson has played really well. He's worked himself into the best shape so far of the season. So it's not about him eating hamburgers and staying off all that stuff. That don't even apply. So when he said that, he's too stupid to realize that that was a bad joke and just apologize and keep it pushing. But he's a blabbermouth and he's a shock jock. So, that's how he attracts attention. So he goes on a 10-minute spew about the Pelicans not winning anything. And listen, what he was saying about the Pelicans in terms of them winning or how they were not winning and how the history of the Pelicans team, that's history. That's nothing, that's fact. You can't dispute that. But about him telling him that he cracked his knee open, listen, man, I don't believe. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think Stephen A. Smith is a plan. I really do. This 1.5 situation when he scored 1.5 and all this kind of stuff, and these pictures, these weird looking pictures that they have that I see online of him and all this, man. I think his backstory, a lot of his backstory is fabricated. I'm gonna just keep it real because it doesn't make any sense. A lot of the stuff that I didn't research because I didn't research Stephen A. Smith, and a lot of the stuff that I see from Stephen A. Smith, and the people that he was connected to, is real weird. And I think a lot of his backstory is fabricated. And then, of course, the Times and like I got a #1 bestseller book on the Times and #1 sign and all this kind of stuff. I'm not really impressed with that. Okay, I'm not really impressed with all of that, man. Because I can get into a whole spiel about how a lot of these music charts are manipulated and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So that don't mean anything to me. But the thing is, he tries to play victim in his. That's why I said he's a clown for what he does, and the coverage that he does of the Pelicans is to get clickbait. It's all clickbait, an unprofessional stuff, and that's why professionals like Antonio Daniels get on him. That's what Jalen Rose says. What he says about him. I think Jalen called him Didn't he call him a sellout? Or one of them called him a sellout. They got several. No, was it Marbury? They had several people
Oh
that
yeah,
jumped.
Stephon Marbury. He did come out and say that.
Marbury jumped on him. Jalen Rose, excuse me, jumped on him. Antonio Daniels,
It's
commented to
funny
it.
because even Richard Jefferson said something about it, and I'm like, nah, dog, you one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep receipts on some of these people because
Right,
some of them want to, be like, yeah, Stephen A. shouldn't have did that. No, you were doing it too. You
right.
were doing it too. Like, I don't get no pass.
Now it's time to stop these fakes, man. Like I
Yeah,
said, a lot of the stuff that was Stephen A's past is weird, man. A lot of weird stuff, a lot of weird looking pictures, a lot of weird murky backdrop storylines to him. I cracked my knee open, I couldn't play, and then he tries to make excuses for why he looked terrible taking the shot, missing the shot, because it was a collage of it was a blooper reel of
yeah.
things that over time, him throwing the pitch at New York out there, and it
They really
was
put him on Front Street, man. I
Mhm.
mean, 'cause it's embarrassing because, like, dude, every time you pick up a ball, the ball never goes in.
Look, this is a real good one, Lex. If you can see on screen right here, they took Will Chamberlain's
Oh,
fade
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
posted.
that was a classic, and that was the end. That was, like, the cherry on top right there. I was like, "You know what? They media
Yeah,
team better chill."
yeah, that's right. That's right. Slim say he can dish it, but he can't take it, and he says that. Well, I'm a grown ass man. I can take it. Whatever. It's just bad faith. I mean, it's bad faith commentary from ESPN dealing with him. Anything attached to Stephen A. Smith is really with the Pelicans is rotten. Like when JJ Redditt first got there, he was
Yeah,
trying to lambaste him. Then he said the stuff about Doc Rivers. People had to come out to him, and I say these are glory seeking social climbers,
yeah.
and you have to be called out for that, man. They have
And
to
I'm
be called.
sorry, hey, because JJ, he don't get no pass either. He don't get no pass. He recently came out talking about, Point Zion and talking that up and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Didn't you use Zion to catapult your career? No, you go kick rocks. I'm sorry. I'm not letting that stuff go. And then they want to flip the script. I just kind of think that stuff is just played out. It's played out.
Right. Then we called JJ Redditt out for that because we knew what he was trying to do when he got that. But that was all facilitated by Stephen A. Smith when he first got to ESPN. That's how he climbed the chain, by stepping on people to get there. And remember, like I said, these people are low character, low morale scum. So they'll do whatever it takes to climb the chain to get there, but they don't understand that there's a principle that operates in the universe called karma, that eventually it will rip you down and take whatever you do to others, it will end up happening to you. So Stephen A. Smith likes to say that he's the face of this, that, and the third. I'm telling you, his time is marked. His time is coming. His time is coming. But anyway, that was pretty funny hearing that. And like I said, if y'all hadn't seen the video, y'all can feel free to check it out. We have it posted up on the channel with Stephen A. Smith. A 10-minute reply to the Pelicans of him trying to call himself lambasting the Pelicans, or call whatever that is a clapback or whatever you want. It was lame to me, but it is what it is, right, Lex?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, with that being said, man, look like we're gonna head out on that. We got a win against the Knicks tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for the Pacers matchup, the Pels and the Pacers. It'll be really fire matchup too. So we'll come back and do that recap tomorrow as well. So with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. Much love to the fam. Y'all hit the like button.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description.